Hi everyone. I decided to do my first video report on this book. It's Lemony Snicket's The Composer is Dead. Some of you might recognize the author from a series of unfortunate events. It is the same author. I picked this book out because I actually work at a music store, and most of our books are music education products, music education books designed for elementary age learners. And this is on one of the books we sell, and I've seen a lot of copies of it being sold, and I wanted to try it. And I found it at my local library, and it ended up being amazing. It's probably my favorite book I read for this class. It is a picture book. The basic storyline is that the composer has been found dead and decomposing, and the inspector has to interview the members of the orchestra. I hope you can see that well. Members of the orchestra to find out who has murdered the composer. Um, it's very, very lighthearted. It's not a super scary murder mystery. Very, very. If any of you have ever read Lemony Snicket's works before, his style of writing is, it's kind of hard to explain, but he has a very dry sense of humor. And he uses lots of puns and play on words to make jokes, and it just gives him a very, I don't know how to say it, but a very unique tone in his writing. Um, what I really like about this book is that, and I really wish I could show it to you, but or play it for you, but this book actually comes with a music CD. On that CD, it plays music recording, music samples from different instruments of the orchestra. So that while you are reading this book to a child, or you're reading, or they have a narrator who will read it as well. And while you're reading, the music will play in the background for each instrument or instrument section that is being interviewed by the inspector in the book. Um, so, for example, when he's interviewing the violins, we have this beautiful widespread, um, really nice soft watercolor paintings. I love how the artist added the music notes in as part of the artwork, very soft colors. Um, but on this page, he's interviewing the violins section, and the violins are giving their alibi that they were playing a waltz all night. And on the CD, when you play the CD and you're reading the book, it will play waltz music from violins in the background, so that when you're reading this to a child, they're able to hear the instruments being played while the inspector, while they go through the book, and you have the inspector um, interviewing each of the different sections of instrument. Uh, for, I believe this is the trumpet, so each instrument you get kind of this silhouette um, of the instrument, and then for the type of music that it's playing, so this would be for the trumpets in the brass section, and they're playing a big fanfare, um, sort of a military march style music. Um, the purpose of this book is to introduce children to different parts of the orchestra, different kinds of music, different what each instrument sounds like, and how they're used in an ensemble setting. Um, and another thing that it does is also part of this book, he lists a whole different names of different composers and kind of gives little portraits of some of them. And it plays a little bit of a kind of piece in that style composer. Um, and I really like this book. I'm a music person. I've played violin for over 10 years now. And teaching children music is kind of hard, especially for younger children who don't have the motor skills or the ability or the opportunities to learn classical music. This is a really good way of introducing it to them. Um, also, and another thing I really liked is that a lot of the writing that Lemony Snicket does, like I said earlier, is based on puns and plays on words and things like that. And so it's also a good way, this kind of a book would be a good way to introduce sort of those kinds of literary devices for children to be able to use in their writing eventually as well. So definitely pick up the book. I really recommend it. I think it would be appropriate for probably, I'd say, second or third graders and up. Um, but yeah, definitely check it out. That's the cover there. And if you can find a CD with it, if your library will check out the CD with the book, that's definitely the best way to experience it. Otherwise, I think you can find the music on YouTube as well. So, thanks for watching.